Hey everyone, an extra video this week. This is Forgotten Fables Wolves on the Westwind, a choose-your-own-adventure game / visual novel set in the world of the Dark Eye RPG. Now I have to be honest, I've never played the Dark Eye tabletop RPG, or the Schwarze Auge as it's originally called. There was even a Dutch translation back in the day called Oog des Meesters, or ODM for short, which had quite a good following here in Belgium. There is a good chunk of people my age for whom ODM was their first tabletop RPG experience. For myself, I started with Advanced Dungeons & Dragons in the Forgotten Realms, so unfortunately I have no knowledge of the Dark Eye world of Aventuria, but I am quite excited to be exploring it in this video. This will be a one-off. Vicarious PR reached out to me because I played the life and suffering of Sir Branty, so big shout out to them, and to Ulysses for providing me with early access to the game. That is very much appreciated. The game releases on the 25th of May, which is tomorrow, so if you like what you see, there will be a link in the description. Go grab yourself a copy of the game. So we have two characters that we can choose from. We have Nedime here, who has 18 health and 30 astral points. She is a mage. And we have Ulrich, who has 30 health and 18 endurance, and he is a mercenary. You are Ulrich Durinald, a weathered mercenary from Endergast, who has wasted his life away fighting other people's battles. You came north to Thorwal, protecting an Austrian trader who was on his way to important talks with the hetman of Isleifsfell, Orlvir Eiriksson. There is two abilities. Battle Sense is an ability that allows Ulrich to pick up on things others might miss, allowing him to spot weaknesses in combat opponents and find hidden advantages in many situations. And then there is Forceful Blow, the ability that allows Ulrich to strike with an overwhelmingly strong blow, to knock opponents back, take them by surprise, and to get through a variety of obstacles that might stand in his way. And Nedime Sabe de Shader is a mage from the lands of Tulamydes, struggling to complete her training. He came north to seek help from the ottajasko, a community of Thorwalian magic users. Having been turned away, you're now returning south with no plan of what to do next. Nedime also has two abilities. One is called Blinding Flash, a spell that confuses the target's sense of sight so that they have trouble perceiving their surroundings. And Orcanophaxius, an elemental spell that causes a jet of air to damage its target and blow it backwards. The spell might be used in combat to force enemies away, but also to affect the environment around Nedime. Alright, so I want to see what a mage is like in the world of Aventuria, so I'm gonna be playing as Nedime for this episode. You almost trip over your rope as you dive off the path and behind a tree. As you hit the ground hard on your hands, you hear an arrow whistle past and throw yourself onto your stomach. Oh, we're jumping right into the action here. I'm already being attacked. I don't even know where I am yet. Blood rushes in your ears and your breath is harsh and heavy. Why is this happening? The road was supposed to be safe. Let's try and find my attackers. Push yourself up and press yourself against a tree, as to keep it between you and your assailants. You twist yourself around to look back in the direction you've come, without giving them a target to shoot. You can hear them, and on reflex your eyes start darting through the night. Try and find them. You can't see anything moving in the shadows, but you hear many heavy footsteps and many loud voices. The next town is close, you think. You should just make a run for it. But you're already struggling to run. Maybe it's better to hide. Let them pass? Yeah, let's try to hide. Yes, that's a better plan. So you immediately start looking around for somewhere you can hide yourself. Somewhere in the trees would be good. Although wearing a bright yellow outfit, that's not gonna help very much, is it? Yeah, they're gonna spot me wherever I go. There's a verge in the road, and if you lie in your front, they won't be able to see you unless they're looking carefully. Yeah, maybe they're colorblind. Maybe they think yellow is green and then they just see a patch of grass. You crawl down into it, roll around, stay completely still, trying to resist the urge to look around for your assailants. Your mind is racing, nothing is clear. It pushes all the spells or all the formula you know from your mind. Damn pressure every time. Oh no. I picked a mage because I wanted to do spells. Now I've forgotten them? Come on. As the blood stops pumping so hard in your ears, you start to become aware of other noises. Great, I accidentally entered like a bear's lair. And now the bear is pissed off too. Voices. Getting louder, coming closer, heavy footfalls, pounding just as quickly as your heart. Painstakingly slowly, you turn your neck so that you can look up the verge, hoping to catch sight of your chasers. Oh yeah, they don't look friendly at all. They're frighteningly close, having slowed down to try to catch any sight of you. Yeah, that's not gonna be hard, you know. Again. At least they're wearing like natural, besides the red, they're wearing like more earth tones. So, you know. But that's the benefit of being a mage, you know, you can wear whatever you want. First has already notched another arrow in his bow. Okay. He's gonna run around like that with the string pulled back. Man, he has some arm muscles. The second follows him with a long, nerve-wracking axe held in both hands. What? Why are they ready to strike if they don't know where I am? And now you see others coming out of the darkness too. If you're going to do something, it has to be now. Yeah, let's cast Fireball. That's the solution in every D&D game, so, you know, let's do that. A measure, an extreme measure comes to your mind. Yeah, there you go. Fireball. It's not even an extreme measure, it's, you know, like the go-to spell. As you see a nearby tree whose roots are exposed. It's a spell you've practiced, a spell you should be able to perform. And so you focus. Slowly you start to build a formula in your mind. As quietly and subtly as you think you can get away with, you start to make the necessary gestures. And you hope, beyond imaginable hope, that just this one time you won't falter under pressure. Is this like percentage based? Like it's not even sure that the spell is going to succeed? So yeah, we have the option to cast Arcanophaxius. You push yourself up as quickly as you can before you unleash your magic. Oh, cool. A blast of air erupts from your pointed fingers, spiraling forwards at a tremendous speed. They hear you, they see you, but it's far too late. Your spell hits the tree so that it topples to the floor. Oh damn, that is a strong spell. I just like ripped the tree from the earth and threw it at them. Nice. Straight into the path of your pursuers, giving you enough time to escape. And so you run. So focused on your escape you are that you don't even see the town come up upon you. You panic and dive down to the ground again as another arrow flies past you in another direction. Wait, is the town shooting at me too? Keep going, come on! Oh, they're shooting at the attackers. Oh, okay. You pay no attention to where the voice is coming from or who it belongs to. At this point, you aren't really thinking at all, just trying to stay out of the way of the hail of arrows. So you pass through the throng of Thorwalian warriors that now stand ready to make a stand outside the town's palisade. One of them claps you on the shoulder as you dive past them and skid through the town's threshold, completely out of breath. Behind you, shouts ring out as battle is joined. All you feel is overwhelming relief, as beyond every one of your expectations, you actually made it to safety. It's not a long fight. Those who were chasing you are quickly routed by the town's defenders. Well done. They ask you many questions about the chase as they invite you into the town proper. Alright, here is my question. Have they seen me throw around a tree? Okay, because, I mean, that would give me some kind of esteem in their eyes, right? Like, hey, this Nedime character, don't mess with her. Like, she'll throw a tree at you. You know what I mean? Then you can finally rest a while, laying down your burdens until morning comes. It's a cold but bright sun that rises over the thatched roofs of Isleifsfell to greet you the next day. Has a bit of a Viking vibe going on, is that? You feel as though your eyes had barely closed before sunlight started breaking through the window. A gentle breeze tugs at your clothes, and the smell of salt on the air helps to keep you awake. The town wakes up around you, as though nothing has ever happened. Yeah, they're used to people trying to invade their town, apparently. People open up their shops and services for the day. Seagulls caw overhead. Over the din, you hear the blowing of bellows and the pounding of a hammer against steel as a blacksmith gets to work. Outlander! No sooner have you stopped at the market stand of freshly baked loaves and buns, you hear her call. You immediately recognize her as one of the warriors who came to your rescue at the palisade. Among the rest of the townsfolk, she stands out in a dress much richer and brighter in color. Estrid Ulfgar's daughter. We met, briefly, last night. Well, good morning. Morning. Glad to make your acquaintance properly this time. Indeed, let me be the first to give you a proper welcome to Isleifsfell. Can only apologize for the chaos of your arrival. Well, that's okay. I mean, you didn't cause that. Oh, you mustn't apologize. Hardly your fault. Yeah, you see, great minds think alike. I have a mage mind. How can I help you? Her brow furrows as she grimaces at you, becomes more serious. Uh-oh. Here is the quest. I'm afraid it's about the attack. My father wishes to speak to you about it. Come, you'll eat with us this morning. It's the least we can do. Much to the complaining of your empty stomach, you're torn away from breakfast to follow Estrid. Well, I mean, you're going from one breakfast to another breakfast, so it's not that bad, right? She leads you further inland, jostling through the crowds as the town wakes up around you. I'll be honest with you, Outlander. This attack was quite troubling. We need to make sure nothing like that ever happens again if we can. We have a reputation to uphold. Yeah, well, it was supposed to be safe. When I reached Prem, I was told the road to the city of Thorwal will be safe. It's the reason I decided to take it when I couldn't find direct passage over the gulf. Her face falls, and for a moment she looks rather embarrassed before she composes herself again. It's true. That road should be safe. We use ships to trade, and outlaws usually target those. There shouldn't be any value to attacking the road itself. It's barely used. This attack has made us look like fools. We won't stand for that. Estrid falls darkly quiet after that. Oh, they take this serious. Makes you slightly more uneasy as you continue up the gentle slope towards the hetman's hall. The fight had been over almost as soon as it started. Many of your attackers had fled at the first sight of defending warriors. But those who had helped been quick to usher you away to a longhouse to rest and recover. It seemed a little on edge, but you thought that was simply down to the surprise of the attack. Now it seems that something larger was at work, and that the hetman wants to speak to you about it is concerning. The noise of the town only swells as its bustling streets awaken. As you climb upwards, everything starts to feel just a little less cramped as the space between buildings grows. Yeah, of course, the hetman is gonna be, you know, in his own palace, his wooden mansion. Soon you are in a wide open square and Estrid is beckoning you towards the great hall that stands ancient and resolute before you. Right, yeah, it's not called a mansion, it's called a great hall, but you know what I mean, right? Like, look at this place. Nice. But this looks like a scene straight from the Viking series, you know, with the fire in the middle. That is pretty cool. She pushes the huge double door to the hall open without knocking or waiting. You're slightly taken aback by the sheer scale of the room you step into. Long benches flank the path to the hetman's table. Huge chandeliers hang from the rafters. A handful of trophies are placed on the walls, a reminder of the triumph of those who have ruled in Isleifsfell. The air is stale, reeks of food, fire, and sweat. Great. That's what I need, sweaty armpits. Father, I found our guest. Estrid leads you to the table that sits at the back of the hall, positioned so that those sat there can watch over everyone. Hey, look at that! We have matching outfits. Very nice. Hetman, I like you. The hetman looks up from his conversation at his daughter's call and quickly stands up as you approach. He greets you warmly and heartily, his arms wide and a smile to match, bowing his head in your direction. Well met, Outlander. In Swafnir and Travia's names, you are most welcome here. Thank you for joining us this morning. Please sit. Take your fill of food and drink. A wide spread of meats, fish, and breads cover the central square of the table, in easy reach of the hetman and his family. This is quite a feast. Thank you. Ulfgar chuckles before sitting down to tuck into his own meal once more. I would be lying if I said there were no advantages to being hetman. Please, sit. Come, we must get to business. Yes, the business of food. This is Brand. He's the town's Godi. He's been an advisor to the head person for many decades now. Okay, he looks a bit sketchy. sorry, Brand. Don't mean to offend you. He indicates an older, near-decrepit man in a heavy bundle of robes who sits and eats at the end of the table. Brand gives you a long side glance that immediately unnerves you. But he says nothing, continues chewing. Without wasting another breath, the hetman moves on to introduce the other younger man at the table. I believe you met my youngest, Raskir. Oh, hello there. My name is Nedime. Yeah, damn. Hi, guy. Raskir nods at you curtly as he throws a bite of bread into his mouth and then picks up a tankard to drink from. Once again, he seems cautious, just for a moment, before he nods at you courteously. Now I have to ask, Outlander, what were you even doing on the northern road? I mean, no disrespect, it's just not often that the likes of you come from that direction. Yeah, that's a good... I have no idea what I was doing there, to be honest. Me, Ralph, has no idea. I was visiting Allport. I'm on my way back south from Allport, hetman. I wish to study at the ottajasko for a short while. Oh yeah, that's right. The ottajasko? Are you a mage? Well, yeah. Duh. Didn't you see me throwing the tree? He clearly didn't see me throwing the tree. Damn it. When you nod, Resker sits up straighter in his chair and his eyes light up with curiosity. That's an unfortunate waste of a trip. They don't accept outsiders lightly. Yeah, well, I know that now. Thanks for pointing out the obvious. You catch Estrid glancing from you to her father and back again, suddenly holding herself very carefully. Well, no matter. The fact is, you should not have been attacked here. It's rather troubling. Forgive my saying so, but you all seem more upset by this than I expect. Resker chuckles before taking a sip from his tankard and reaching forward to rip a handful of bread from the loaf. Do you know what it means to be peaceless, Outlander? I don't know. What does it mean? To be peaceless is the worst punishment the Thorwalian could face. It's the punishment we give to those who have committed terrible, terrible crimes. They're ashamed to their ancestors. They have been stripped of all honor. They will never find peace with the gods. They will never fight at Swafnir's side or drink at Ravia's table. That is why the peaceless are scorned and hide amongst themselves on the Allport stones. For them to return in force to the mainland makes no sense. But if a group of them have, they're a grave danger. We must deal with them. An uncomfortable silence falls in the hall while you process what Resker has said. Out of it, it's the hetman that clears his throat to speak up, talking to you over his drink. I've called you here for your help, Outlander. I know very little about magic, but I must believe that you can use it to help us. Well, but when you called me here, you didn't know I was a mage. At least I've heard many stories of magic coming to your aid in the past. But my son is right. We must deal with the peaceless. Today he and Estrid will head out, find those that remain and end the threat before they can strike again. I'd like you to join them. But I'm not a soldier. Nor a great warrior. I'm sure I'd more likely be a hindrance if I were to accompany you. You've traveled a long way to get here, Outlander. Must have taken many months. I can't believe for a moment that has not been without at least some trouble you defended yourself against. I do not think you'd be a hindrance. Well, that's a nice compliment. And you said already that you're a mage. Yeah, but as my father said, that will help. Between us, we will be more than enough to defeat these wretches. With the room falling quiet again, you can't help but notice the small niggling feeling in the back of your mind. You can't place it, but it only adds to the uneasiness that has been building in your chest all throughout this morning. If you wish to get underway immediately, I'll happily arrange a ship to take you anywhere you wish to go. Or you're welcome to stay here as a guest. For a while at least, if that suits you. Of the three of them, Ulfgar is the only one who seems patient to await your answer. Estrid is at least trying to mask her own uneasiness, glancing up at you between small pickings of her food. Resker, though, makes no effort to hide the fact that he's on edge, staring at you over his meal. Yeah, I kinda like him staring at me. I mean, look at him. Something's wrong. You aren't telling me something. In the same moment, Resker rolls his eyes in frustration. Estrid sighs and rubs hers. The hetman quickly signals for both of them to settle down, shifting in his seat and putting a careful hand on the table. We aren't trying to deceive you, Outlander. There are things in motion that are beyond your control, Outlander. Uh-oh, now we got Brand chiming in. The stranger at the end of the table has been so quiet throughout the meal that you had forgotten he was there. Now, though, you look at him as he spits out a fishbone and glances across at you. And under his gaze, you feel the hair on the back of your neck stand on end. It is the will of the Runyas that you arrived here. They had not wished for you to be here. You would not have come all this way. I mean, that's one explanation. The other one is I got turned down and was walking back. But, you know, like whatever you want to believe, right? And yet you are here, so that you may aid us in this. Ah, yes. Thanks for taking away my choice here, Brand. The hetman did not wish for me to tell you. He thought you may doubt what the Runyas have revealed to us. One look back at the hetman tells you that he is feeling a measure of regret at the goatie's outburst. But again, he awaits your response. I am here by my choice. Not as a consequence of fate. Uh-oh. But you are here, Outlander, as the runes said you would be before you even arrived. The runes said an unknown mage would aid us in what is to come. Until the Peaceless chased you to our doorstep, that made little sense, but now the fates have revealed it to us. I'm sorry I wasn't more open to you until now. There's a little more we can say now, Father. Either the Outlander will help us or she won't. You're very conscious that all three of them now await your final answer. Oh man. But as you sit in silent contemplation of his words, your eyes are drawn back across the room to the Godai. He's gone back to his own little world, chewing on some dried fish, staring off into some part of space. You feel pressure building, left with very little time to think about your decision. Doom, doom, doom. Especially as the hetman and his family haven't all left their meals alone and are fully focused on you. Yeah, just make it really uneasy, alright? Alright? Your mind teeters a little at the idea that your arrival in Isleifsfell was preordained. But at least it explains the sudden change in the room's undertone when you told them you were a mage. There is that niggling sensation again. That's probably Brand. Like, doing something. Chewing at the back of your mind, yeah. Are we agreed, Outlander? You sit, stunned, for one more moment, then you are overwhelmed, and without realizing it, you nod, just once. Look at that, I don't have the option to, run away. I was gonna say, if I choose not to help, is the game over? Well, I guess, I have to help. We're in agreement. I'll help where I can. Then your word is a pledge to me. Oh boy. There is no hint of his jovial nature now. He's grim and reserved as he nods. You should all prepare to leave as soon as possible. Good hunting. Okay, we're gonna spend some time with Raskir here. I don't mind that at all. Hey, boy. You meet with the hetman's children, Estrid and Raskir, in order to prepare for the task ahead. Oh, she's there too? Oh man, what a bummer. Preparation do not take long. You're told to bring as little as you can, for you'll move swiftly and sleep roughly should the need arise. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like I was carrying a lot to begin with. Like, this is it. That's all I own right now. In truth, there's little you can prepare. You have no weapon, no armor, limited list of mantras you're certain will work. Doesn't take very long either for you to start questioning why you said yes to such a venture. You're no soldier. You know the theory of some basic defense, but you've never actually used it in anger. And on top of all that, the words of the hetman's goatee are still playing on your mind. Thorwalians lean heavily on the will of their runyas. Over your weeks of travel in Thorwal, you've heard many talks about them as part of their day-to-day lives. You didn't expect it so suddenly affect you so personally. Is it really their will that you be here now? And if so, why? Why not someone else? Yeah, someone more accomplished. Someone who can throw 2 trees instead of just one, for example. These questions grate on you, no matter how hard you fight to shake them off before you reach the palisade. Astrid and Resker are waiting for you there. They both got far more imposing figures, dressed and ready to fight. They both acknowledge your arrival with a quiet nod as they glance over your equipment to gauge your readiness. Yeah, what equipment? Alright, let's do this. Let's do it quickly, even. Resker quickly lets out a hearty laugh and points at you as he looks at his sister. Are you making fun of me? I'm gonna rip that tattoo right off your arm. I like this one. Oh, okay. She gives you a wry smile, but quickly motions for you to calm down. Calm down? I didn't do anything. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Overconfidence will kill us faster than any peaceless can. Before we begin, we will ask Swafnir for a blessing. Will you join us? I don't know your prayers. To be able to take part in anything like that, I don't think. No matter, it's simple. You can listen to me and Astrid first. That will be enough. Okay. Feel no pressure. Yeah, no pressure. There's never pressure with you people. Never. For us, this is tradition. Goes unnoticed by her brother, but you hear the very slight pause in our explanation. It's our duty to fulfill. For you, the offer is extended only if you wish for it. I'm sure the gods would welcome it. Yeah, sure. It's an honor. Astrid bows her head to respect your decision before moving to break the circle you've all formed in the street. She walks away from you, you catch the subtle but strange look on her face. Somewhere between disappointment and concern. Resker, meanwhile, doesn't hide his joy at your decision. Okay, well, if you're happy, I'm happy. They line up next to each other, a few steps out of the way of the path out of town. You stand awkwardly next to Astrid as they both lie their weapons down at their feet. Resker first bows his head and raises his hands over his axe, with his palms facing towards the heavens. Oh, Swafnir, brave conqueror, tireless hunter, watch over this axe and its bearer. He speaks with a ferocity we're not quite expecting, letting his voice carry far with no hint of shame. In your name and by your will, I will go forth to fight. To build up on the honor of my forebears. To prepare for the final fight, to fulfill my destiny. Yes, Valhalla, here I come. That is my goal. Grant me but a piece of your godly power and let me prevail. With that, he snatches his axe back up, though he waits where he stands for Astrid to say her prayer too. She repeats the prayer almost word for word, changing only axe for sword and shield. And it's your turn. Oh boy. You need a measure of creativity to work around the words of the prayer that focuses on a weapon, yeah. You decide on watch over me and hope that is enough in the spirit of the prayer to be respectful. But Resker is nodding at you when you lift your head again to affirm you've done well. Alright. Astrid's expression is much harder to read, but she holds herself confidently as she double checks the straps on her vambraces. You take the lead, Outlander. Take us to where you were first attacked. We'll pick up the trail from there. Alright, and with that I'm going to end the episode. If you're curious how the story continues, then there is a link in the description. Grab yourself a copy of the game and enjoy. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video.